Hello, it's Mark from Cars and Cameras, and today I got a 2-week update on what I think of the Sony FX3. Here you can see I have it all kitted out with multiple receivers. I have the Rode Wireless Go 2 with 2 transmitters feeding into the camera, and also I have 2 additional receivers. Sony receivers giving me a total of 4 tracks of sound coming into the camera using the handle, which is really cool. You can see here's the inputs. You got input 1 and 2, and input 3 gives you a stereo input, and that's where the Rode Wireless Go 2 goes. Now, on the camera itself, if you're not using the handle, you do have a sound input, and I'll talk more about that later. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the handle. I like this handle quite a bit when I am using it for sound. It's really strong and robust. I know you can get the handle on the Sony A7S III, but it is a little bit different, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. What's really cool about this handle is it comes with the camera, and it also gives you full control. So you have your input selector here, which gives you full control of the sound that you're inputting to the camera, which is really nice. Now let's go ahead and look at the controls that you have when you use the XLR ins, and also the additional input 3. So you can see here, you can go ahead and dial in exactly the way you want it. You have full control of the sound, which is really great. And you can see all the controls here. So it's a really cool feature that you get this with the camera. And I have to say, this handle is really robust. I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's kind of cheap. Well, no, it's not. It's really nice. In fact, you can see here, it really makes a nice handle, and you can see it's got those 2 thumb screws that mount into the 1/4-20s. This thing is not going anywhere. You cannot pick up the one that goes on the A7S III like this. You can see here, if you look at it, you can see that the mounting point there, you know, using those 2 thumb screws really is solid. Okay, let's talk about the screen. Now, you only have the rear LCD screen on here, but what's really nice is when you're using it outside, you can set it to sunny weather, and it does make it considerably brighter. I like this. If you're using some Sony zoom lenses, well, you're gonna have full zoom control here like a camcorder. But if you're not, like me, you're using a lens like I'm using here, it gives you 1.5 times crop in 4K. And yes, using clear image zoom. Also, you can control the speed of this, which is really nice. As you can see here, you can set the zoom. When you're in standby mode, you can set the speed. You can also set it, you can see I have 2 settings on the zoom speed. One slow and then one a little bit faster. Another cool thing is it gives you tons of recording options. You know when you're recording with this camera, as you can see here, the button lights up. It looks really cool. Also, it lights up on the back. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So you can see here, there's also a tally lamp on the back of the camera, and you cannot miss it. Also, you see the red box around the LCD screen. I know the Sony A7S III can do this. Also, you have a record button on the front, so that's even handy. Also, if you're using it in selfie mode, which is really nice, you can see another tally lamp on the front. So in this mode, I got the Rode Wireless Go attached to the camera, and this is the Wireless Go 2, so it gives me 2 7 tracks of sound. And you can see here on the camera itself, it does have a microphone input, and that works out really great. So if you don't want to have it all kitted out like I did earlier, you want to go a little bit lower profile, maybe some handheld shooting, you can do that. So let's talk about the screen. As I mentioned earlier, I had no problem when I used the screen outside. Unlike the A7S Mark III, you do not have a electronic viewfinder to look through. You just have this rear LCD. What's really nice about the rear LCD is it seems like it's a little bit more protected than it is on the A7S Mark III. It seems like it's a little bit harder to pull it away from the camera. It seems like it's locked in place. It's a little bit nicer. Also, I do have a screen protector on there. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I did get some questions about that. If you did put a screen protector on the FX3, if you can close it flush if you're using an external monitor, and I can say yes you can with this Sony screen protector. It's pretty thick. And let's talk about my favorite screen protector. So here it is. It is the Sony PCK LM15, and it fits the Sony FX3 just fine. It basically just kind of mounts around the edge. It's got a little adhesive all around the edges of it, and it gives you full touch control. Now let's talk about the side flip out accessory ports and the doors on them. And they're really high quality. And what's really nice about them is that when you open them up, there's a little bit of tension on them, and they stay open, which is really nice. So when you're using them, they're not flopping around. They do stay in place, which is really nice. So you can see here I'm shaking the camera, and they stay in place, which is really cool. It's very high quality. Okay, let's talk about the fan. So on the bottom there, you can see it's kind of recessed, so if you do set it on a table, it is sucking air in, and on the side there, that is the exhaust port. And you do have full control of this on the camera. So when we go into fan control, you can see I have it on auto, and it's just fine when it goes on. You can set it to whatever you like, but I can tell you when it's on auto, you can't really hear it. I really do like the hand grip on the camera. It's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit pointier than it is on the A7S Mark III, so it's easier to hang on to. So overall, I think this is a really cool camera. I would say if you already have an A7S Mark III, keep it. If you don't have one and you're thinking about this camera, get it. Guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.